Okay, George. Well, we're getting ready to get started. I've done some looking and some comparing of all the pieces and parts that you've sent. What I think we had originally stated was right. I think we're going to try and keep your transitional 6105 as complete as possible. What I'll need, though, is I'll need this mid case, and so that means I'm going to get started on the movement on this watch, which is going to be your daily watch, and I may be able to lighten up some of this darkness on this dial. I've already started to try and lighten up your second set of hands that you sent in. You sent in a sort of a second-hand set that looks pretty good, but you know they could probably do with some cleanup. So I'm working on that, trying my process there. I've been trying to experiment with a few processes, and I figure those hands are great for that because they're not so bad, but yet they could always do a little bit better. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to get this watch torn down. We're going to get the movement out, get the dial and hands off. We're going to rebuild your crown, and then we're going to utilize this mid case for your other watch, and then that watch will sort of be done. We'll have to see about the hand, the sweep hand on that one. So that's the only variable that we're not quite decided on for that. So this is a very nice original watch. Get a big fingerprint here. Okay, so that's all right. All right, so let's get the process going. Let's go ahead and get you torn down, completely decase the movement, get the dial and hands off, and start cleaning this case so we can get it swapped over. Okay. Go ahead and get your winding components off. We're in the case. Makes it a little bit easier to manipulate things. Gonna get your die shock taken out here. There we go. Okay, let's take your crown and stem off. We're going to rebuild this, of course, as part of our process. All right. Well, aside from some moisture damage, this looks like a really great dial. Hands are certainly past their prime, but we're gonna also try and clean these up just to make sure you have a good set coming home. Yeah, this isn't so bad. We can work with this for sure. All right, let's go ahead and take these hands and dial off. I'm not sure this watch has been serviced. Doesn't look like it to me. There's nothing in the case back, and it looks very original. All right, let's put these in a safe spot. Okay. So this should be a 73 dial. It is 3-3. Your case back is 3-4, so that makes a lot of sense. So we're going to put this one aside. All right. So now that we've got everything taken apart, we can start with the teardown of this watch. All right, so let's get this movement torn apart, and we will get that going. Make sure all your power is out of your movement here. There we go. Ready. Okay. Ooh, a little loose there. Also a little loose. It's interesting. Ooh, a little bit of corrosion under here. See, there's moisture that's been accumulating underneath of this. I'll have to clean that by hand a little while. Spend a little time. So I'm going to take a really close look at all your bushings and everything. Make sure that everything is right. Because there's been moisture, as you can tell from the hands and the dial. The effects of that are not clear. You can also tell your lower mainspring arbor port is really blown out. So we're going to have to jewel that, of course, as we do. Lost a lot of your S2. So there's your fourth wheel. And your third wheel. And your escape wheel. Hacking lever. Ooh wee. Oh my. Yeah. Got some brassing here where it's tipped over into your movement. Certainly has ground down a bit. Okay. We'll get that cleaned up by hand, and then we'll get that jeweled before we go into the cleaner. Get you flipped over here. All right. Got a plastic intermediary wheel. So 73 went to plastic, so it seems. It's interesting. Transitions to lower cost, more cost-effective parts. It's never quite clear when all that happens, but ooh, we got some rust on your cannon pinion here, so we're gonna have to really pay close attention to these parts. All right, that goes here. Your center wheel as well. Looks like it's got some corrosion. Yeah, corrosion's bad. Alright, we're gonna put that through the cleaning process and see what comes out on the other side. Moisture is just one of those pervasive things. It just gets into places you would not expect. Okay. Good. Yep. Alrighty, keyless works. These look pretty good. Okay, that is that. All right, so that's your movement torn down. We're going to go ahead and get you jeweled, clean up some parts, take a close look at a few things. We're going to rebuild your crown and stem, of course, and then we'll start getting this all back together so we can finish up all your watches. All right, we'll be back, George. Okay, George, well, we are ready to go on the movement of your 73. So, yeah, we're gonna get going on that and get you back together, get everything running. All right. Wanted to point out here in the beginning, we've got a brand new lower mainspring arbor port jewel, one of our custom made jewels, made in US. Here's the upper, its partner. So that's ready to go. Okay, so let's get that process happening here. Get your center wheel put in. Get that lubricated. Okay. Now, while we're here, we got to put in your hacking lever. Let's put that in its place. Never want to forget the hacking lever. here's your escape wheel. Right. Check your third wheel. No, come on. Go into your jewel. Oh, come on. There you go. The less I do, the faster it drops. Alright, let's lubricate your fourth wheel. Just a touch. Alright, and now for your barrel. Your mainspring looked pretty good, so we're going to reuse that on this one. Okay, everybody seems happy. And there we go. Perfect fit. Oh. Now, Mr. Screw. There we go. Sometimes they just want to rock around. Looking good, looking good. So nice to look down and see those jewels in the mainspring arbor ports. It's so cool. Let's get your click spring in. And now for your ratchet wheel. Now for your ratchet wheel. Okay. Right, now we're gonna just check the train. Make sure all the clearances are good and everybody's happy in their pivots and jewels. I may have to push that down a bit. It's a bit loose. A little too loose for my liking. Alright, I'll be back. I'm gonna do some adjusting. Okay, so we got that adjusted, so now we're on the calendar side. We're going to go ahead and put your cannon pinion on. Oops. Sticks going flying around. Okay, that looks good. Alright, next thing is to do a little lubrication on your third wheel and your escape wheel. And place your die shock right in there. Okay, and there we go. Now we can place your pre-lubricated pallet fork in place. That goes right here. There we go. This bridge gets put in. There we go. Perfect. Good, good, good. Everything looks great. Okay, let's go ahead and put some power in. There we go. And now, the moment of truth. The dropping of the balance. Are you in? Yes, you are. Good. Perfect. All right, so now your other die shock. Good. And its spring goes in place. Oop. Or it goes away. I don't know. Oh, come on. Why do you want to jump around? I guess it's because you're a spring. Oh, sorry for the dog noises. Constant. All right. There we go. That is a running 6105 movement. And lots of dog noise. All right, well, let's try it. Let's see how we did. Check our work. The immediate satisfaction of the time grapher. All right, we'll be right back and see how we did. Okay, George. Well, here we go. We've got some adjustments to make. We're gonna have to take a guess on the first one, which is your beat error. So we're gonna guess clockwise because it's a clock. That was a big adjustment. And it was a little overzealous. I kind of missed the mark. Let's go back. It was the right choice, but I don't know. It went the wrong amount. Okay. That was good. Let's see if we can get... Whoa, that's not 0.8. That's not 0.8. Settle down. Oh, we're not even at the right numbers here. My goodness, we're way out of whack. Can't get the right numbers if you don't have the right setting. All right, here we go. Let's see where we are now. Okay, 0.2, 200. Of course, that adjustment didn't affect that, but let's get back to where we were. Let's see where we are here. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not bad. Okay, so got at the beat error. Now we got to look at the rate. Let's let it settle down just a bit before we go too much here. Okay, so we're a little fast. Let's effectively lengthen the hairspring. Okay, that's how we do that. Too much. It's always a balancing act with this process. I'll get messy for a second. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. -6. Nanoscopic movements. Make these adjustments. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Work with me here. Okay. It's always a challenge. The back and forth, the back and forth. Hi, George. Okay, get down. Good boy. Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run in. Excuse me. I'm going to let it get itself. Need to make a little adjustment. No, maybe not. Go through these. Yeah, let's let that slide for a little while. We're gonna let this run. Sorry, it's gonna screw up again because I'm moving things. I'm gonna let this run in and we'll be back. Numbers are good. It's where we want to be. It's the direction we want to go. Hopefully continuing to get the amplitude up. Okay, I'll be back. So I figured it was good time to move on to this side of the movement. Get everything back together. So we'll go ahead and build out your calendar. Components. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and put your jumper here in place. And get that lubricated. Good. All right, now for your date wheel. Stay up. Come on. This movement holder sometimes is a little tricky. That looks good. Okay. Good. And your 4 screws. 4 screws. Last 4 on here. Sorry for the snoring, of course. Just something we have to deal with. Dog noises galore. I don't know why they're so tired all the time. They don't actually do anything. But it's part of the process, I guess, of being a dog. Okay, let's check your function. So that's your quick date changeover. Here's your setting changeover. So we'll see how that progresses. Looks good. Aha. Not as good. Let's see here. I think that wheel has lost its spring. I mean, it's not gone, it's just not attached in the right way. Yeah, that's right. It should be out here. There we go. Okay. Problem solved. That eccentric needs to be sprung in the right way for it to work correctly. Spring disappears. And there's your finger. Perfect. Okay, good. So everything is very good. That's why we test. All right, so next will be dial in hands, and we will finish the process. I'll be back. Okay, George. Well, we're here at the end. I've gotten all your pieces and parts back together. I thought I was satisfied with the direction the numbers were going, but after letting this really break in for a while, it really didn't go quite as far in the amplitude. I mean, the signal was clean. It's still beautiful. But I went back in and I had a close look at everything, and I took your mainspring back out of your barrel. It turned out that, oh, here it is. It's actually lost its end, which is here on the floor, sorry. All right, there we go. Well, anyway, the bridle had broken, and so I went ahead and replaced your mainspring, so you'll get that one back. Okay, last couple things to do. We're going to go ahead and get your winding assembly on. Make sure that that's back together and ready to go. Okay. Alrighty, and for the final component, now for your new case back gasket. Alrighty, looks good. Get your case back on. Right. Okay, and with that, we are finished with your 1973 6105. All right, well, let's review. So this one came in with the other. So what we wanted to do, I think, with these watches was try and get you to the following. You wanted a daily wear watch, one that perhaps wasn't quite as perfect, that was still a nice watch, that had good features, a good insert, good dial, decent hands, your new sweep, of course a service, resealed everything. So we did your crown, we did your case back, we did your bezel, replaced the glass, of course. So this watch came in, the hands were extremely rough. So those hands are back in your box of things to come home. These hands were the hands that you sent that were an extra set. And I did my best to clean them up, to stabilize the loom, to do all the things to make them look decent considering the starting point. Now what I didn't do, of course, was re-loom them. So these have their original loom, and I think they came out pretty well. This has the decent, I would say very good bezel. It has the mid case that has some, you know, scarring and a couple little things, but still a very, very, very good mid case with good brushing. But still, this is your daily driver, let's say. Then you had me take the best of the components and put them with your beauty piece. So this has the best mid case, 72 back, 72 dial, 72 hands. I put your new short sweep on this one. The reason I did that was because I didn't want to risk hurting your, of course, your 72 long sweep. So that's going to come home to you. That sweep hand will be yours to keep with the watch. And I just didn't, I couldn't quite get, you know, the gumption, if you will, to go ahead and try and clean that loom. You know, the only real solution for some of that loom that's gone really gray and really black is reloom. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to hurt that if there is in the future an opportunity to bring that loom back to life. So what I did was I made these two short sweeps with the ones you sent. You know, daily wear, sort of, you know, really, really great example. Cases are still very good, but this mid case is of course much better. Still got your 72 back. This is your 73 back with the 73 dial. So dials and case backs of course match. Bezels are great. This is your essentially new old stock rotating bezel on the 72 watch on this one here. So I think we did quite well. You have a lot of parts and pieces that are going to come home, unless, of course, you'd like to utilize some of those as a way to offset some of the cost of service. I'm happy to do that. Hands, perhaps the bezel, this bezel that's not perfect. I'm happy to take in some things for trade if you feel like it. If you want to keep the parts, those are yours, of course, and they will, of course, come home if you say that's what you want, but I'd be more than happy to do some trading with you. Your insert, of course, you can always use an insert. All of your hands are here. Your really rough hands that were on the 73, they're here. The loom is really awful. Your long sweep for your 72, that's here. That, of course, I think should always stay with this watch. So I think that's going to be something maybe to preserve. But if you want to trade any of these items for service, I'm happy to take that in partial trade. You also have your decent short sweep. So you have another short sweep here. And again, if you want to consider any sort of trade on this stuff, I'd be more than happy to think about that. Okay, so you let me know, and we will of course do whatever works for you. Everything else I think has been installed. There's nothing else in the background. Some old seals and things, of course, that have been replaced. Your 73 got the full workup: seals, bezel, the case back, glass, the bushing for your upper mainspring arbor port. Put that away. So what you got here today was two. Well, we'll work it out in the details, but anyway. So these are all your things. Most important thing, of course, we've got and your new or your old original Seiko bracelet or rubber strap, which we would, I assume, put on the 72 watch to come home. I can always allow you to choose. I'll just send it home taken off, and your very cool orange to go on your daily driver, I think, and we'll send it home like that. All right. George, lots of things, lots of parts, lots of pieces, but we will get it all squared away and make sure everything comes home the way you want it, and we will move forward. Here's your bad mainspring. That will come home as well. All right, George. Well, thanks so much. I will be in touch, and we will get things coming back, and what a great pair. What a fantastic couple of watches. I think you're going to be really happy wearing this one and really happy preserving this one. All right. Thank you, George.